Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, this is my 200th video, actually, not really an episode. My 200th video. I began doing YouTube videos back in December of 2016, and although my first year, I didn't produce very many videos, I think less than 30 or so. This past year, has clearly been, I've been much more consistent with it, and producing at least one video every week, sometimes two or more. Kind of ran behind a little bit this week, so I'm playing a bit of catch up and doing two videos today. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. I hope that you find you find this content today and the content moving forward to be of interest. And I'm really kind of excited about this episode. I've been thinking about, these last two episodes for this past week, wanting to, save up for this 200th video, something special, something, really positive. And I was struggling between all the materials that I had picked up over the week, what was I going to do for video 199, and then, what was I going to save over for, the rest of, for this video here. So, my last video, if you watched it, was my review of The Age of Conan Ballet, and, I was a bit kind of, down on this comic, and I really, it pained me to, to give like my first, review of something that wasn't really glowing. And part of that might have been, I had such high expectations for this comic, and to be honest, the story just didn't meet my expectations. And but I'm still hopeful going forward. So, I'm glad that I did that for 199, because now it allows me to transition and go into, something much more positive and moving forward. So I'm going to switch views so I could show you, because I did have a big week this week. I picked up a lot of things. I got a lot of things in the mail. And so, and then there was one book that I got, at the tail end of last week, I believe. So I'm going to switch views and talk about those. So to begin with, now a while back I had Conan the Barbarian #3. I just didn't have the physical copy. There were some delays with my local comic book store in getting some of these put into my bag, and my pull list. And so it took them a while to get #3. So I know I had left off with Conan the Barbarian #2. That was my last video of that. I may do one on #3. I might just skip it because I have #4, or I might do 3 and 4 together. So Conan #4, Conan the Barbarian #4 has been released, and this was really a cool story. I really enjoyed this one, so I might actually do a full review on this one here, because that was, better than I was expecting. I like some of the aspects of #3 as well, but definitely an improvement over #2. And then speaking of #2, Savage Sword of Conan #2 has come out. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, so I'm going to definitely check this out, and perhaps I will do a video over the next week. I might have quite a few comic book videos. I know it's an RPG review, but there is plenty of connection between the comics that I do get and the Conan RPG 2D20 from Modifius. So, it's very easy if you're playing that game to take these stories and translate them to, to that game system, almost seamlessly, actually. So, that's something that I might actually play around with a little bit with my gaming groups, and try to get something going on where I am actually, recreating these stories in game mode. So the things that came in the mail. So a little over a week ago, I'd say, I picked up I got the hard copy of Dark Places and Demigorgon's Cryptic Manual. This is put out by Bloat Games, and I am going to do a full review of both this book here and the core rule book, Dark Places and Demigorgons, both put out by Bloat Games, are obviously, and I'm going to go into detail as to what I'm looking to do with this game. You know, I mean, I'll save it for that, but you know, I do have some, you know, really good intentions with this game system, along with some of the other games that you know, Eric Bloat has put out, Vigilante City, and I'm thinking, and I have also Survive This Zombies, and I'm thinking of taking all three games and kind of integrating them into one setting that I devise, kind of mirrored off of the setting that's in here. So I'm going to try to recreate my hometown in 1982, which was Sayville, New York, 1982, and kind of you know, kind of zombie this, and you know, Dark Places and Demigorgons, that setting, you know, as far as, you know, my campaign world. And so I'm looking forward to doing that with this game here. Also, you know, quite surprised, I had a sticker on in my mailbox from the post office that you know, product had arrived, but they couldn't fit it in the mailbox, so I had to go to the post office. And this is put out by Ganesha Games, and this is of Armies and Hordes. So I'll bring that a little bit closer so you can see. And this here is, and I'll do a full review as well. So thank you very much, Andre. I'll make sure that I put this, or Andrea, make sure that I put this on, you know, on the website there, this video, so you can see. And this book is just, you know, phenomenal. I'm so glad to have gotten it. The quality and everything. I'm going to do a full review on this and do some play testing as well, and show you how this system works. So this is the army level fantasy miniature rules based on the Song of Blades and the Song of Blades engine. So I had done a previous video. So when I do this video, I'll link that other video to it. So now I have the skirmish level and now the full army level. And, you know, even if I don't get around to actually playing these particular scenarios out with someone, I do enjoy reading rule books and getting ideas about some of the things that I'm doing as far as my own writing. And so getting things like this, I'm, you know, really looking forward to reading through it and, you know, hopefully play testing it as well. Now, my most recent acquisition, which I got in the mail about 3-4 days ago, is Lamentations of a Flame Princess. Now, this game has been very, very much in the news of, you know, of our hobby circles, you know, so the RPG gaming hobby has been, you know, has been banding about this book for, you know, for quite some time now. It's considered, you know, by some, if not many, to be one of the best representations of old school revival that's out there. I've never actually, you know, played the game before, haven't even gotten a chance to read through the booklet, but there's just been so much talk about it, and you know, both positives and controversies. And I figured I can't really, you know, go forward without, you know, having a copy of it myself and reading through it and seeing what it has to offer. And, you know, so I'm looking forward to doing a full video on this as well, you know, probably within the next week or two. So as you can see, I picked up really quite a bit of new material to mess around with and hopefully play. As far as my own work, I've been working on my own RPG. Still not going, not going to announce the name of it, or it is a pirate themed RPG, and it's more of a historical fiction genre, and it's probably a little darker and edgier than a Disney-fied version of Pirates. So I'm trying to be a little bit more accurate with it. I have a slew of books that I'm referring to, and these are more these are true historical, books. They're not fictional novels. They're studies of various pirates throughout history, and and throughout the world as well. So, and by some of the best historians in the subject. So I'm looking forward to, continuing doing that writing and working. I'm around 5,000 words right now, as far as, and it's probably around, 14 full-size pages. So in booklet form, that might be around 28 pages of books. Doesn't include any of the charts or graphs yet to any extent. So I know that's going to explode it. So I have virtually, 14 or so pages of, straight up rules written for it. But I'm trying to still maintain the simplicity of the system itself, so that it does, relate to a true OSR kind of a feel to it, so simple rules, but a, very dynamic system that kind of feeds into and creates momentum and situations like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I have a few things to do to learn about doing, copywriting the material when it's all written, and getting a trademark for whatever my quote unquote publishing name will be for it, and then I'll get to the point where I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to, just put this out there on, drive through RPG, or, potentially, most likely not do a Kickstarter. I'd like to become a little bit more familiar with those types of things. So if any of you are, content creators out there that are publishing, and you want to drop me a private line on Facebook, you're welcome to do that. On Facebook, just send me a PM, to give me a little idea of, what steps I should take. So I'd really appreciate that. If I know quite a few content creators out there, so, and I'll put the call out on Facebook as well, for anyone looking to help me out in that regard, because I'm not really sure. I've been looking it up online and trying to get an idea, but right now I'm just delving into the government website on how to submit for a trademark application, and how to submit copyright. So far, right now, I've done some initial checking, and it seems like I'm on pretty safe ground. And then using OGL, which I'm not quite sure if I have to use it or not, because my game isn't really modeled after anything that I've come across as previously done, but I'll probably do it just to be safe. And I'm sure someone might chime in and tell me, hey, you have to do it regardless. And so if I use the word strength or attributes or anything like that, I probably have to use an OGL anyway. So anyhow, thanks for joining in. I hope you like this video. I hope that you're looking forward to some of my upcoming content as much as I'm looking forward to creating it. And if you have any suggestions out there that games that you'd want me to take a look at, if you have a Kickstarter out there that you'd want me to take a look at, I'm a big believer in backing projects from small-time creators like myself. And you have something out there, whether it be whether it be the new zines that they're putting out on Kickstarter, these, short little, adventure modules or these short little game systems. If you have another, full-blown Kickstarter out there that you'd like for me to take a look at, please drop a comment in. I'll take a look at it. And if it's something that I really enjoy, I'm going to not only back it, but then I'll come back and I'll make a video talking about it, pushing it out there, to my 270 some odd, 271, I believe, some odd subscribers. So I will be putting the video out there, and I have over 1,600 Facebook friends. I put it out there, to them as well. So once again, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for joining. I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. You'll have a good upcoming week.